You wake up staring at a screen. You feel this crushing void in your chest. Well, according to Dr. Elias Thorne and the researchers behind the Break Your Chains framework, that quiet pain isn't just bad luck. It is a highly calculated trap built by modern corporations. It's a system meticulously designed to keep you weak, completely distracted, and incredibly easy to control.
Dr. Thorne argues they literally force you into wearing a polished, fake mask every single day. And while you do that, your real inner self is starving. You end up shoving all of this bottled up, toxic rage straight into a dark mental basement. And right now, the behavioral data suggests you are right on the edge. You are about to snap.
So what exactly hides in your dark mental basement? Because if you don't face whatever is lurking down there right now, the Center for Behavioral Dynamics warns it will detonate. This explosion is predicted to destroy your entire future, feeding directly into a terrifying societal collapse that we are going to examine later in this explainer. To stop that, here is the exact framework to break your chains.
First up, Strategy 1. Clean your mental basement.
Behavioral researchers mapping the human brain have outlined exactly how this trap operates. Dr. Thorne notes that society forces you to wear this fake, polished mask. You know the drill, right? You act like a serious, successful adult who has everything totally under control. The authors emphasize that you spend hours curating this persona, smiling through exhausting tasks and just swallowing disrespect. But the psychological mechanics happening underneath are absolutely devastating. The more energy you burn keeping that fake mask intact, the more your real inner self literally starves to death. Researchers call this the identity split. Your heart and your mind fracture into two completely separate pieces, leaving you frozen with fear in the dark. This constant friction creates a deeply buried poison.
To stop this buried poison from exploding into uncontrollable rage over something as tiny as a bad joke or someone cutting you off in traffic, the framework demands immediate action. The authors prescribe a very specific psychological relief mechanism. Grab a plain notebook. Write down 3 specific things that make you intensely hate other people when you look at them. Got them? Now, be completely honest and ruthlessly hunt for those exact traits hidden inside your own chest. Dr. Thorne explains that confronting your own shadows strips the dark mental basement of its power. You immediately reclaim the cognitive bandwidth you were wasting on projecting your anger onto others, which stops that buried poison from hijacking your nervous system.
Moving right along to Strategy 2. Interrogate your hidden fears. Look, deep in your mind sits a true inner master. This is that gut instinct that dictates what is actually right and wrong for your life. But Dr. Thorne outlines how this inner master is constantly hijacked by what clinical psychologists call emotional knots. These are dense clusters of raw fear, trauma, and memory wrapped tightly around a single topic. For example, if you grew up with a hypercritical parent, you probably carry a failure knot. This knot paralyzes your ability to take risks or learn a new skill, completely blinding you to opportunity. The framework details how these knots bypass your conscious brain entirely. They literally seize control of your hands and your tongue before your frontal lobe can even form a logical thought. It's terrifying.
Now, if you run from these knots, the researchers warn they only tighten. The framework demands that you pull them directly into the light. Go into a quiet room where nobody can hear you. Close your eyes. Picture your absolute biggest fear, like having zero money or dying completely alone, as a physical creature standing directly in front of you. Demand to know, why are you here? What are you trying to tell me? And then sit still and listen. The psychological breakthrough noted by the authors here is profound. Your deepest fears are often just confused, ancient survival warnings trying to protect you. Once they are interrogated, they immediately lose their crippling grip.
Next is Strategy 3. Build your tough tests. Think about this number for a second. 0. Modern society provides exactly 0 tests for young men to become functional adults. Anthropological data cited by Thorne notes that in the past, older men subjected boys to grueling rites of passage in the wild. This marked the exact day they became men. Today, those systems are completely eradicated. The analysis shows you are basically left isolated aging in a boy's body. And make no mistake, this is by design. Corporate systems absolutely thrive when millions of individuals are lost and weak. The researchers argue that when a man feels empty, it is incredibly easy to trick him into buying expensive, useless things just to fill the void. He becomes a highly profitable, easily manipulated asset.
Because the world refuses to test you, the framework insists you must engineer your own brutal physical and mental crucibles. Dr. Thorne prescribes training your physical vessel until it breaks,
Run long distances until your lungs burn and your legs fail. Carry heavy loads for hours. Learn a complex physical skill with your bare hands, and spend days working hard in absolute silence without ever touching a digital screen. By enduring self-imposed suffering, you actually rewrite your baseline dopamine loops. You push yourself until your central nervous system screams at you to quit, and then you violently smash straight through that invisible wall of failure. The authors state this is the literal biological way to prove to your own mind that you are no longer soft. You must manually kill the weakness.
That brings us to strategy 4, hunt for meaningful work.
The modern economy makes survival painfully difficult. Inflation forces you to spend every waking second just paying rent, leaving zero time for self-discovery. Simultaneously, digital algorithms are precisely engineered to trap you. Data from the Center for Behavioral Dynamics highlights millions of people wasting massive amounts of time performing like actors for absolute strangers. You are conditioned to measure your human value by a metric of digital engagement. And while you perform this fake outer mask, the authors argue your real heart stops beating. The neurological trap of this constant dopamine loop ensures you stay exhausted, compliant, and completely numb to your own reality.
The authors argue you must stop chasing fake digital status immediately. Dr. Thorne insists the only cure for the expanding internal void is to build or fix things in the physical world. Pay attention to the work that makes you completely forget to look at the clock. Demand of yourself to build tangible things, repair what is broken, or directly assist real people, even when the labor is incredibly demanding. According to the psychological framework, when your hands execute physical tasks that match your authentic internal values, that suffocating, empty feeling finally begins to disappear.
Strategy 5. Forge real brotherhood ties. The research highlights a terrifying fact. Chronic isolation is literally lethal. Dr. Thorne's analysis shows that staying alone in a room, just consuming images of strangers, actively destroys your cognitive resilience. The framework instructs you to actively seek out older, wiser men in your community who have actually survived severe adversity. Ask them for their blueprints. You must surround yourself with honest, hardworking peers who flat out refuse to participate in fake digital lives. The authors stress you need men who will look you directly in the eye and speak the harsh truth when you act weak. This real human connection is cited as the primary biological medicine for modern psychological pain.
And finally, strategy 6, the final chilling choice.
This danger does not stop inside your own house. The Center for Behavioral Dynamics presents a chilling, unavoidable prophecy if these individual mental basements are not cleaned, because when millions of men bury their anger, the poison leaks out into the streets. Dr. Thorne outlines 3 terrifying steps of total societal collapse. Step 1 takes months. Cold numbness mutates into total venomous hatred. People completely stop caring about each other's survival. Step 2 takes years. The buried anger inside millions of dark mental basements detonates simultaneously. Silent pain violently transitions into explosive rioting, physically burning down the infrastructure of the surrounding world. Step 3 takes decades. A shattered generation of men, having completely lost their inner strength, simply gives up. The timeline shows them begging strong, cruel bosses to strip away their freedom in exchange for basic safety and rations.
The authors state this is what happens to human beings every single time they forget who they really are on the inside. You cannot run away from this data. Dr. Thorne leaves us with a chilling, unavoidable ultimatum. Stare into the abyss of your own future right now. Will you do the brutal, necessary work to fix your mind today, or will you surrender your freedom to cruel systems tomorrow just to feel safe?